you for joining us.
What's up?
And of course, the lovely Miss Shakira,
Hey.
Entertainment News.
Hello.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. What's up?
Hey, how's everything?
Yeah, good, fantastic. And of course, we have Sahara TV superstar himself, Mr. Rudolf Okonkwo.
Hey, how are you guys
Yeah,
doing?
thanks,
Hey.
man. Thanks.
See, I'm not used to it. Sorry. I forgot about it. There we
Because
go.
we're not clapped.
There we go.
So that's how I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys have a nice setting here.
Oh, thank you.
I would have been here before now if I had known.
Yeah, just get close to the mic.
Beautiful setting here.
Yeah, you know, it's
Wow. Radio is wonderful.
spectacular a little bit. You know, we used to share it with you guys, and
Yeah.
we figure,
You became independent. And
well, to be honest with you, I don't think the Sahara TV is big enough to contain the
yeah,
Sahara radio crew.
this is
so we
beautiful.
had to-
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's nice. You see the back.
Wow,
It's nice. Microphones.
very
Oh,
good.
what happened to the microphone caps, Nick? The thing that says Sahara radio right here. What happened to all that?
We gotta get it back.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you, man. Thanks for joining us, man.
Throwing
It's
people under
nice
the
to
bus
be
and
here.
everything.
It's nice to be here with you guys.
I'll do serious. I'll be above it. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Damages, 100 show.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
passed the 100 mark. So
Yeah,
Wow.
fantastic, man.
I got my BMW out there.
Oh, I see.
Special gift.
Fantastic, man.
Yeah.
So, what is that like, man? What's that journey been like, man?
I didn't know how we got there. You just come in and do it every week, and all of a sudden we are on 100, and very, very
Fantastic.
exciting. Now we know we can survive, and we should go into syndication.
All right, are you trying to send a message to somebody?
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Again, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I know you said you were going to quit after your 100 show. But
No,
you've done
not
100.
anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
There are a lot of people who are looking for the 200 and 300 shows, so we can quit. Yeah.
Fantastic, man. So tell us a little bit about Dr. Damages and what it's about.
Oh, it's just a satire. We're trying to get people who are disconnected, who are uninterested in the news, to have reasons to watch and to pay attention to what's going on in the country, in Africa as a whole.
Okay.
We're trying to make news interesting, find a way to it's more of a satire, make fun of people who are in power, because we believe that the final level of democracy is when you can make fun of people who are governing you.
Yes,
And Nigeria being what it is, a failed nation that works for the same people that failed it, we don't have any way of holding them accountable. Instead, we have people who essentially are just worshiping people they should hold accountable. So on our show, we try to let people know that you can hold people accountable, and we try to hold them accountable.
Fantastic. What are some of the best satires you've had?
Oh, one of our best is always Jonathan is our main character.
Jonathan, the
somehow,
president.
yeah,
That's
the president. Somehow, people say I look like him, and when I dress up like him, and people get confused sometimes. But it's very interesting to make use his words and present it back to him, and people to see how ridiculous it sounds sometimes, and to try to use satire to make mockery of some of the what they call the untouchables in Nigeria,
Right.
and across Africa.
Yeah, fantastic. And I know you've been doing that for how long now? Like,
2 years now. 2 years, yeah. So. It's still difficult. It's still a challenge to
really?
pick stories and to decide what to present, because some weeks you have a lot of stories out there, and you have to decide which one do you pick, which one will best illustrate what you're trying to point out, the ironies in life. And so it's still a challenge, but I enjoy it.
Do you think?
Fantastic. Happy, go
Do you
ahead.
think the politicians are aware of?
Oh, well, I don't know. I've heard from former.
Oh, sorry, excuse me, Rudolph. Just try to talk in the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know I'm not familiar with this.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
So, no, actually, I've heard from a former minister who complained about the joke I made. She said it was not funny. It was dry. She wanted me to explain the joke. I said, comedians don't explain their jokes. It's like a magician telling the magician to explain the magic. I said, no. But anyway, I've not heard from them. But I think from third sources, I heard that they laugh over it, and they think we just wasting our time. But people are taking it seriously, and people are learning to laugh at them. So.
Yeah, fantastic. Shukri, did you have anything to say?
I do have a question.
Fantastic.
Dr. Damages. Dr. Damages. How did you even come up with that character, with that name? Like, tell us a little bit about the history and how that came about.
Well, yeah, it's a long story because it started when I was in college.
Okay.
I was at Federal University of Technology, Akure, and I wanted to join the press club. So you have to pick a pen name.
Okay.
And the best writer in the school at that time was Doctor Who. So I thought of a name. I never had a pen name or a guy name, what they call AKK in school. But I had a friend who was called Damages in high school. So I decided, okay, I should add a doctor too, like Doctor Who. I became Dr. Damages.
Fantastic.
And that was how I started using Dr. Damages.
Yeah, tell them your slogan too, man. I think that's just hilarious.
Oh, I diagnose, you heal yourself. Yeah.
Fantastic, man. Yeah. What I like that you also do satire. You just don't cover the politicians in Nigeria. You also cover some of the politicians here.
Oh yeah, because we start, the show is set in New York. We shot in New York. So what we do is why I started doing that actually was that people said to me, oh, you are saying this because you're not in Nigeria. You can't say that about Obama. You can't say that about the mayor of New York or the governor of New York. But we who live in America, we know that every night people make fun of people who run this country.
Like top 10.
So I said, okay, let me start from America, make fun of the people here. Then I will make fun of the people at home so that they will know that it's not about being in America. It's not why you are doing it. It's just that it's a normal thing and it should be normal in Africa.
So, just curious, what do you think of the likes of Jon Stewart and Steve Colbert?
Oh no, I worship them. I watch them someone like Jay Leno. Since I came to this country, I've watched almost everything they've done. Jay Leno, David Letterman.
I know you're a big fan
all
of
of
David
them.
Letterman.
Yeah.
Right.
So I follow them, and they were the inspiration. I just said, we need something like this in Nigeria. We have comedians who are very good in Nigeria, but because they depend on the rich and the famous to survive, and the people in government, they don't take on them. They don't say anything about them. They pick on the poor people and the disabled, and it's very disgusting. So I think what I'm hoping that eventually the comedians who are very good, will know that they should have the power and the right to take up.
So this is like a form of activism.
Yeah. To me, it's. I'm hoping that it will inspire some of them to change their formats.
Yeah. Wallo, what's up, man?
Everything good, man. I know you call your show Dr. Damages, but you actually you have a PhD and everything, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I don't have a PhD. No, I don't have a PhD. Yeah.
So to me, I know you said Leno and Letterman, but I think the main guy right now is actually Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also,
Yes.
I'm more political. I'm more political than
and that's what he does.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
So I at 11 o'clock I go to Jon Stewart. I watch him. At 11:30 I go to the Letterman. At 11:45 I go to Leno. Wow. I know every segment of each show that I'm interested in seeing what they are doing. So I follow all of them.
And the reason why I said it, there's some things they say that get them in trouble too.
Yeah.
Even in America,
Yeah.
So
but all they need to do is to apologize.
Yes.
They don't go to jail.
Oh, sometimes you just be like, no, that's what I feel. It's not real news. Well, in reality, though, I do believe you could do that because you're in America. I don't think there's anybody right now in Nigeria that would dare do what you're doing.
Of course, I know that. I know that there are limitations, but part of the reason is that nobody has challenged the system. I mean, in Egypt, there's one guy who is doing exactly the same thing. Same thing that Jon Stewart is doing.
He has a huge following.
Yeah. If we're in Nigeria and there's a TV station that is bold enough to take up this show, it's going to be big. I mean, there will be trouble. People will complain, but they will get used to that. I mean, I'm sure that when it started in America, people were complaining, but now
they're still complaining. You're absolutely right.
Yes,
you're absolutely right.
That guy, actually, the Egyptian guy, actually got mentioned by Jon Stewart.
No, he appeared on Jon Stewart.
He actually appeared.
He came on the show.
I saw a YouTube
He came on the
video
show.
of that. We actually just spoke about Egypt before you guys came on the show. Yeah, fantastic.
He came on the show.
So we'll see if we can get you on.
No, I'm actually I've gone to David Letterman, not as a guest, but to see how it's done, and it's marvelous. But I'm also trying to reach out to see if I can.
You can pull some strings.
Yeah, talk to me after the show.
You talk to your people. Their people will talk to their people. Yeah.
This guy has connections too, though, so you might want to holler at him and everything. But go ahead, please.
No, I wanted to say that your work should speak for you and eventually get you to wherever you want to go. I think if the show continues to improve and do well, you eventually can get to
I gotta say, man, unlike me, maybe you have thick skin, man, because I've seen some of your videos and some of the things these people say, man. And we can't just say they're just regular users. I mean, they're actually people behind a computer or whatever phone typing this. They say some pretty mean things about you, man.
Yeah, I mean, they have the right to do that, and also, I have the right to say what I'm saying. So if you're dishing it out, you should be willing to receive it. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, cool, definitely, man. Yeah, we're talking to Rudolf Okonkwo of Dr. Damages, and correct me if I'm right, on Sahara Reporters. We're going to take a quick break on Sahara FM Radio, and we'll be right back. When we come back, I'm sorry.
No, I just want to let everybody know the reason why I'm paying strictly Bob Marley.
Oh, yeah.
That's because that's what Mr. Okonkwo works.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I thought I would be the next Bob Marley when he died. Okay. So I started wearing wig. I didn't have money for dreadlock, but it didn't work out well.
No, you can't have that in Nigeria.
Yeah, no, it should be a bad thing. Yeah.
So when we come back, we're going to talk about the column you write for on Sahara Reporters, and there's some other questions I'd like to ask you.
All right.
So take a break. We'll be right back.
Wow. I like it.
And we're back live at the Humble Prince of Sahara FM Radio, featuring one applauding DJ Wallo. Wow. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Wallo wasn't even new. Okay.
Featuring DJ Wale?
I heard there was food today. So.
Wow. Fantastic, man. Yeah.
You guys are having fun. Yeah. It's not like our shows.
No, I mean,
don't let the video fool you.
Oh,
you guys are having fun.
Wow.
I should be back every week.
You're welcome.
You're welcome anytime.
We're trying to go through the airport. We're not trying to go through the back doors.
Yeah, so we're joined by Rudolf Okonkwo, the skit master, satire of Dr. Damages. How many views do you get on the average in a week, man? What?
Well, I think about 7,000 viewers.
Oh wow, yeah.
On
That's just
YouTube.
about half of Adeola's, right?
Yeah.
So the next time you're gonna tell them about our show.
I know, right? How much
No,
do
it's
we-
true. You said what?
No, I said you're gonna tell them about our show. So
Oh yeah, we will.
Oh
we will.
yeah.
we
As a
will.
matter of fact, big shout out to you, man. I know I did an opening. What we're gonna do is that everybody do an opening, man. Dr. Jackery Damages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the other things you do is that you write a column on the Sahara Reporter's website, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it's called Correct Me If I'm Right.
Yes.
That's interesting. How did you even come up with that?
Well, that's actually a title of an article I wrote for Nigeria World when I was there.
Okay.
Essentially telling you that what you are reading, there's a twist there.
Okay.
It's not going to be what you think it is.
Right.
So that's part of the satiric part of me. Most of the articles I'm writing is not really going to be what you think you are. So, so the same way, if you feel that I'm right, you should correct me. And most of our people are eager to correct you if you're wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
So you love irony, I see.
Yeah, that's essentially. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Chris could tell you about that. We can't wait for him to slip up.
Yeah.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to know, were you funny as a kid?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't even talking as a kid. I was very shy, but I have to learn to survive. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
So this is more like Dr. Fierce when you're on this show.
Yeah.
Like
It's,
the alternative ego.
exactly.
I gotta say one thing too. When I met you, I thought you were this quiet guy. When I see you on Dr. Damage, I'm like, this guy just flips a switch and everything. So, yeah.
And that's good because some people they're never off.
They're
always
in character. Yeah.
I wonder who.
I wonder who.
Yeah. So let's talk about correct me if you're right. Two of the articles that stood out, shared with the group. One is what's your position on God and the whole religion thing. You wrote and that's one of the ones where you got fire, man. You really got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have I've been trying to moderate my stand on religion. But I think it's a major issue with our people in Africa. We don't question anything. We accept everything that we are given, and I have no issue with people who believe that there is a God and the God will take them to heaven and everything. My issue is that in the understanding of that God and what that God is telling them to do, I believe that you have a lot to say about what happens to you and where you end up in life more than somebody somewhere else. It's your responsibility. My father used to say, make for yourself what you want to be. There's nobody who is out there deciding what will happen to you tomorrow, and it's about what you get up to do and what you do that will determine where you get to. So that's more to me, that is a major factor beyond that of destiny and fate. So I go to church, so you
Why?
don't. Yeah, I go to church.
I mean,
that's
is that your irony? Is that your play on? I don't understand why is it that you go to church?
No, I go for several reasons. One of the reasons was what somebody told me. He said,
Women.
no. I have kids, and your kids will get to a point where they don't fear you anymore. You have to give them something to fear, and that But basically, I don't dismiss the idea of God. That has never been my position. My position is that we hand over everything to God and wait for God to do things for us. We are the ones who God works through people, and God can help you if you believe in that God, but you have to be the one that will lead. You have to be the one stepping out there to do what you want to do for yourself.
So let me ask you a question. You said God can help you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if God helps you, that means that He's also getting involved in the things that you do.
Mm-hmm.
So if He can get involved in the things that you do, then why do you need to do anything?
Well, an object at rest will remain at rest.
Okay.
An object in motion, that's law of physics.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're at rest, you remain there.
Yeah.
If you're in motion, then if there is force, because the central idea of God is that there's an external force.
Mm-hmm.
Gravity is a force. there's an external force applying that is having an impact on an object that is moving. So people who believe in God, they call it an invisible support. Then that force will now act if you are moving. But if you are not moving, you stay there. The force will not move you. Okay? So my issue with religion and the way we practice it is that we want to believe that God will come and fix the road for us. God will come and get us there. God will not do those things for us. If you go out there to do it, maybe if you believe there is that force, and that force will help you to accomplish that thing. But you have to be the person leading. That's why I have issues with these preachers who basically tell people about going to heaven and prosperity, and they are not out there trying to stop the people who are putting the country down. You know, for instance, we have issues with corruption. I expect the preachers to be the ones leading the fight to stop corruption, which is responsible for why a lot of our people are poor. But they're not doing that. They're basically telling the poor people, oh, pray that you get to heaven. Give us the money you have so that God will reward you and God will make you richer than what you are. So it's all fraud.
I'm not feeling that either, man. Yeah, Shukri, did you want to answer that? Okay. Let's talk about correct me. We're still talking about correct me if I'm right. Another article you had, and this is what Wallo was talking about, that it's been really circulating. Is this American Life, correct?
No, yeah, this American Life, yeah.
Right. And I think he really struck a nerve with some of the American Nigerians in diaspora here, man. It's like we're kind of doomed.
Oh yeah. Somebody said to me, "Help! You're not helping people. You're basically making them feel disillusioned." That's not the goal. It's just to make sure that people are aware of the reality. You know, I feel like basically when you decide to leave your country to go to another country, especially a country like America, where you end up feeling at home at one point, you are basically like you are adding to the gene pool of America.
Okay.
That's essentially what you're doing. You just come here and to add to the gene pool and end up dead. You know, useless. And for Africans who have this attachment to home, we have this attachment to home. I tell people that when you leave Nigeria, they draw the family tree of your family. They get to here and say this is Prince Olu, and they put hyphen because there is no record of what happens after that. You were born and that's it, because your children will never come back home. Essentially, majority of our kids here will never go back to Africa, no matter what you do.
Immigrants.
Yeah, even if you take them home every year, by the time they're 18, they won't go back, and you are.
So just to be clear, this American Life is not to be confused with Ira Glass's.
No. It has no connection to that. No.
He's known for.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Wallo, did you want to say something?
I mean, when I read the story, I was, you know, a good story by remembering where you were actually at when you read it. I was actually in Atlanta, and I think you put it on Facebook or whatever, and I read it. My first impression was like, this is sad.
Yeah, most people.
Yeah, I know. And it took me a while to actually, you know, sip through it and like see what you were trying to say. You know, I think you said something. You bring a wife from Nigeria, you get divorced, and then I'm like,
wish you married you.
You know, one of the things that was surprising to me, people were getting back to me and reacting, and one of them said something about, why are you revealing our secrets? You know, secret of people who live abroad, because most people felt that we should protect the story here. And I've had this expression that when you are abroad, when you leave, come to America or Britain or wherever, that it's like joining a secret cult, like Oboni. You know, the people who are outside are wishing that they are inside where you are, because they in some of our societies, people who are in secret cult are perceived to be successful. Yes. So people outside, they want to be in, but people in, they want to be out. They want to get out. You know. So people here try to protect the story. You know, we don't want everybody at home to know what's going on, that we have issues, and really have issues. A lot of them are very serious. Yeah. And when you stay here 10 to 15 years, that's when you start questioning, is this the right decision to come leave your country? And everybody will all deal with that. And the funny thing is that if you stay up to 20, sometimes it's difficult to go back, you know.
Fantastic.
So you know you're in trouble with a lot of girls in Nigeria because you're telling people not to go back home and pick a bride.
You know, one thing that you said was where people send money back home to build houses, and then how many days do you really even live in those houses?
You know, the one that is sad, it's not about houses. That's just waste of money. But the one that is sad is that if you have your parents at home, sometimes people don't. I did the calculation one time and was shocked. From the point you leave home to let's say 20 years after in America, you ask yourself, how many hours have you spent with your parents since you left home?
Wow.
It's very sad if you
mean
know.
Physically or
physically,
not on the phone, right?
not on the phone, because when you go home, you just go and see them, and how you find out that most people, it's less than, they don't spend up to 10 days in maybe 10 years with their parents.
Wow.
And then you have relations who should have depended on you. You should have kind of relationship with them, even inspire them. You don't have that opportunity because.
Sorry, Rudolf. Let me just take this call.
Okay.
You're live with the Humble Prince. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Tosin. I'm calling from Minneapolis.
Hey, Tosin from Minneapolis. How you doing? Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening.
All right. Welcome. Yeah, I just wanted to contribute on the issues of on Rudolf.
Right.
Okay. So, I don't know. Are we live now or something? I don't know.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, you're always live, baby.
Okay. That's good. Anyway, basically, I just want to say that, I'm a fan of the show, basically.
Wait, time out.
Fan of his writing.
Which show?
Yeah.
This show or Rudolph's show?
Instead of this show.
Rudolph's show, Sahara Radio.
So call Rudolph's show and tell
group.
No, go ahead, man.
Yeah, the Sahara group,
Yeah.
And basically, he made a mention on the issue of God, the concept of God, and how we see God. And I feel that, that that's always been Nigeria's problem, or the problem of Africa in general, the fact that we hand over our lives to God to manage for us, when in reality, even God himself walked. It was said that he walked 6 days and rested on the seventh, So basically, what I'm trying to say is that it's in our own hands to seek the change that we want,
Yeah.
The country, Africa as a continent, Nigeria as a country is not going to move from point A to point B. The people don't see the need for it to move so.
Yeah.
And, in the past, we've always thought that the problem of Nigeria has always been the leaders. But recently, what I'm seeing, even the people are worse.
Yeah.
The leadership in Nigeria is terrible.
I agree, and I know a lot of them wish they were in power,
terrible.
so they could, yeah.
Terrible. One that
come from
don't
the
question
people.
anything, they give it to you just the way you take it. Followership is so terrible.
Definitely.
Unlike what you have in other climes. And the funny thing is, even our neighbors are different. You go to Ghana, you go to Botswana, and all these other countries around Africa, they're different.
Definitely.
The things we take in Nigeria, they don't take it in Egypt and other places like that. So basically, the point I'm trying to make is for us to see that change. And that's why I laugh. I tell my friends and family that you think 2015 is going to surprise you. I doubt it.
Right.
I really do doubt it.
Right.
Still going to be the same circle. All it takes for our leaders to go and kneel in front of a pastor, he prays for them, and that's it.
Rubbish. Anyway, thanks for calling, man. Yeah, and please continue to listen, man. We really appreciate it, man.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, man.
All right.
Yeah, interesting. Rudolf, thanks for joining us, man. We look forward to it. Before you go, I just wanted. Oh, my fault. I just wanted to get your take on the 2015 election taking place in Nigeria. You have any comments with that?
Things are shaping up. If you want to say that, things are shaping up. We don't know. It looks like it's going to be the most important election we're going to have in a generation. Nobody can really predict what will happen. There are a lot of factors on the ground that are pointing to a kind of a perfect storm. And if they all come together, it might go either way in terms of whether the country can actually survive. If you ask me, I don't understand why Jonathan wants to run for a second term. I think he should go, but most people don't believe that. It's going to be interesting to see how things will shape up. But I think that the fuse, the valve, the safety valve in the country are all broken, and we don't know that. So any small thing could set it off in a direction that we don't anticipate. So
yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure having you.
All right, thank you,
Rudolf Okonkwo, Damages, and correct me if I'm right.
I enjoy the opportunity.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime. We'll be back. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, I know Shakira has some entertainment news. Shakira, what you gonna touch on?
Oh yeah, what do you get when you with Hollywood and Dolly Parton?
Breasts.
Well, you're gonna find out when I come back after the break.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, man.
Okay.
Yeah, Sahara FM Radio. And we're back live with the Humble Prince featuring DJ Wale, Critics Corner with Abby, Entertainment News with Shakira, and we still have Rudolf in the house. Rudolf, you know what? The same thing happens, man. Oh, applause in the house.
I'm loving these applause.
Yeah, I love it, man. Every time a guest comes, they say they have to leave, and when they start doing the show, they don't want to leave, man. What's up with that, man? Because now you don't want to leave either, man.
I like this. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not? I mean, everybody.
We should have Dr. Damages on radio too.
Oh well, hold off, chill, man. Somebody's already calling talking about they love your show and our show. What's that about? Yeah. Real quick before we go, before Shakira gets into entertainment news, when does Dr. Damages air? Please let the people know.
Every Saturday at about 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on
Right.
Sahara TV.
And that's about in the evening in Nigeria, right?
Yes,
About
yes.
6 p.m. in Nigeria. Yeah.
Most part of the world this evening.
I know, fantastic. You can also catch them on YouTube on the Sahara TV channel.
Yes.
So just do search Dr. Damage. And from my team to you, I just want to say thank you because you're one of the people that really gave us this opportunity. My boss reached out to you and everything. So I really appreciate you for that, man. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now, entertainment news with Shakira.
Yeah, I'm gonna save the Dolly Parton thing later
man,
on.
let's talk about it.
And also, I wanted to also tell you guys before the break that Dr. Phil has some Twitter beef.
With who?
Twitter beef with who?
Yeah. So let me just get into.
Hold on a second. Jonathan, what's up? Okay. Oh, Jonathan, can we the screen, please? Thank you. Go ahead. It's off, right?
I think it's off.
Yeah, I think it's off. Yeah. Entertainment news with Shakira. Yeah. Thank you, Shakira. Go ahead.
The Twitter account for the Dr. Phil Show frequently tweets out questions for its audience to think about.
Okay.
Recent questions include: do you know someone who has used their child against their partner during a divorce? And have you ever experienced abuse by a step-parent? But a question the show recently tweeted that got people furious. Was: if a girl is drunk, is it okay to have sex with her? Reply yes or no.
Dr. Phil tweeted that?
Listen, reactions to the tweet went viral.
Okay, go on.
It went viral.
Okay.
Sure.
And many people were furious at that type of question. Some people tweeted, is it okay? Basically, it was because how can somebody tweet something like that?
Okay, so that's crazy, man.
What did he say? Why he tweeted it?
So the tweet was later deleted,
Yeah.
making it clear that the question was not written by the TV psychologist himself.
Okay.
So he did say that, and stating that in his posting made him very upset. The show has not yet responded, regarding why it was even tweeted out. So he was very upset. And do you think also that was an appropriate question for the show to tweet out like that?
That's I'd say it's a very sensitive question. I mean,
because the reason why it was tweeted out, and I'll tell you why they did respond.
Okay, go ahead.
This tweet was intended to evoke discussions leading into a very serious show topic based upon a recent news story. Hence, teen accused.
Right. The teen that was accused of having
Yeah.
with another
The
girl.
real
Yeah, let's go around the
question
room.
is,
Yeah, go ahead.
What does Oprah think? I don't know any other question you have.
Good one.
Yeah. So, Abby, you have some commentary on that?
No, it's not allowed. There's no way to rationalize, justify. Think it's not consensual because she's under whoever the person is under the influence, and it's not.
Oh no, I think. Sorry, does he have the right to tweet such a question? Is that what it?
Well, you can tweet whatever he wants.
Yeah, but is it appropriate?
She's actually talking about the actions. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's an inappropriate. It's that's an inappropriate thing to tweet, or it's a wrong thing to tweet. Right. It's not right.
Yeah.
But I think it all happens to everybody. I mean, if you're on Twitter and you must have sent out something at one point that you may not have thought out well.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, I'm sure he didn't do it himself. It's somebody else, the staff that did that. So.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the biggest songs of the country by Miguel is "How Many Drinks Does It Take?"
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
So.
Well, but Rick Ross got let go from Reebok for
He
saying
was trying to put money in somebody's drink. Yeah.
hey, it's all, that's just a deeper state of unconsciousness.
Yeah. Shakira, sorry. Before you proceed, to those reaching out, for the number to call is 646-559-6640. 646-559-6640. Thank you.
Okay, so previously I asked you guys, what do you get when you take Dolly Parton and Hollywood?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you get Dollywood. So basically,
You have one of those sounds.
Are you serious?
listen. It was the #1 story recently. You guys just have not been paying attention. Yes, the almost 7-year-old is not sleeping and she's not stopping, and she's creating Dollywood in Nashville, Tennessee. Basically, what she's doing is she is creating a resort hotel lobby with 3-story window that frames Mount LeConte. So she is just basically establishing something just so wonderful and great, a great resort.
Dolly Parton.
Dollywood, yeah.
Wow. Play a song for me, Applejack, Applejack, play a song.
I mean, she was on my wall for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had a good relationship.
Jolene. I love that song.
See, I see she has a lot of fans in this room.
Hey, let me. Sorry. Speaking of Dolly Parton.
Good one.
How can you identify Dolly Parton's kids?
I don't know.
They're on her chest.
No, they have big mouths. You guys will get it later.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
See, I can't keep doing the 1 sound, man.
That's a funny joke. They have big mouths. You know why?
That's not a funny joke. Nobody laughed.
No, I know why, but it's not. Yeah.
From
Oh,
breastfeeding.
so it was, yeah, that's what I said.
I know,
Yeah.
That's not a good joke?
No.
Oh, hey, all right,
So this resort that she is, starting is going to cost close to $300 million.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So just shout out to Dolly Parton. I mean, she's almost 70 years old, and she's, she's not sleeping. She's just,
How can she sleep?
You mean which side of the
But trust me, our partner is sleeping good.
Wow.
Woo!
Yeah.
You guys are good.
Dolly Parton though, 300. So she obviously has investors.
Oh,
She's a white lady. She's good.
she's good.
Hey, just don't go saying the N-word now.
No.
Relax. Yeah, Shakira, go ahead, man, please.
Okay, Kate Middleton is making a master public statement with her wardrobe. Usually, princess, after they have a baby, they're all glammed up, wearing expensive clothes. But in a recent photo shoot with her and her husband, a new baby, she's actually wearing a $79 maternity dress, which is not the norm for people, especially celebrities, who just have babies. But it made a huge fashion statement. So,
yeah, they said that it was a powerful dress that she wore. Like, what was this?
Not
statement?
that it was a powerful statement that she made.
It's a powerful statement she made. Yeah, I read.
Yeah.
What's the
Because it was cheap.
Because it was.
The dress is actually sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she wore it,
I think she's kind of following Michelle Obama's.
But
Yeah.
is that really cheap? I don't know.
$79?
For people in Africa, yeah.
We went there.
Hey, he's got to bring that.
Yeah, go ahead on.
So,
Thank you.
it just made a powerful statement. But also, I think it's just commendable for someone like her, who is a public eye. She's kind of saying, hey, it's okay not to wear always, $1,000 dresses, and she just had a baby. She doesn't have to be all glammed up. So I understand why people would say
But
her
do we
outfit.
know if she had no time to go and buy something, because the size has changed and she just needed to. I'm just saying, I don't know.
Wow, man.
I got a call. There's a call.
Oh, she said I got a call. Let's go to entertainment news.
The camera is on hot.
You're live in Dollywood. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hello. Don't be scared.
It's all right. Let me finish my news.
Yeah, go ahead.
Demi Lovato, who just turned 21, she actually celebrated her birthday not in a club, not drinking it up, not partying, not in church, but she spent it as a volunteer in Kenya. And I think that's something that I just want to, speak about because,
We need more people to do.
Yeah, and she volunteered and she just had a couple of her friends. And, I think people like her, who is in a public eye, who's young, celebrity, 21 years old, she wanted to make her 21st birthday memorable. So she decided to, volunteer. in Africa.
Can I say something?
Yes, Mr.
It's okay, but we have to watch and wait for her to get to 25 if she continues, because she might just be doing this to get your attention. You know, I'm very cynical about stuff like that, especially when they go to Africa. You know,
Demi Lovato, that's a lady from American. Was she on American?
She was
Idol?
X Factor. She was a judge on the X Factor
or something like that.
Yeah, and she's a singer. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks hot, man.
Yeah, she's a cute girl. She's a
she
cute
could
girl.
have gone to New Orleans or something. Anyway.
Now, I have a lot of male friends who are in love with Aisha, CNN correspondent, but she has just been off the market.
She got married.
She got married. I see you're paying attention to the news. Yes, so she
Wow.
married her love.
So what are you trying to say? We don't pay attention.
I got a question though.
Yeah, she got married to a white.
She like that.
sound.
She
You
got
can
let
record
go. Huh?
White guy or black guy?
White.
Why?
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
And why is that?
I'm not surprised.
Now it's
the
only
same thing with
only
David Oyelowo.
that is left.
David Oyelowo's wife is white too.
Okay.
Yeah. You look alike?
Oh, I don't. Yeah,
No,
you
you don't.
I didn't want to say anything, man. That's
Yeah.
like a
Hey,
shameless
you got
plug.
to.
I know shameless
You got to.
plug.
Yeah,
I know.
where's your NAACP, man?
Did you see the movie?
No.
Oh, you got to see it. It's good.
Go ahead, Shakira.
Well, yeah, so they met in 2008 and they finally got married. And
Okay,
also
okay.
he works with CNN. So congratulations to them.
Congratulations.
And in sad news, Lee Thompson died at the age of 29 with a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Yes.
Lee Thompson is
Young.
No suicide note was left. And there were reports that he was practicing a Yoruba religion. And yes,
Yoruba religion or Yoruba
Well,
religion? Because that was a major.
because it was a
debate on
major,
Facebook.
major debate. Not just Facebook, like
Oh, everywhere.
like different, social networks.
About this whole notion that Yoruba is a religion.
Yeah,
or-
some people were really, really offended and
I
said
don't know why they are. We
and
should have
said-
a discussion and bring like an hip hop priest on.
that,
Yeah, let's do
and
that,
they
man.
basically they said that E News, who actually the first ones reported it, said that E News are ignorant and they don't know what they're talking about. This was coming from a lot of people.
What
who were
was
Yoruba.
said? A Yoruba.
They said that he was practicing Yoruba religion prior to the
Okay.
suicide.
Okay.
And a lot of people have a problem with the fact that they think that they got it wrong. It's kind of like calling calling Africa a country type of thing.
Mhm.
And little do people know, Yoruba is a religion as much as it is a language, as much as it is a cultural
A
group,
tribe,
as much
yeah.
as it is so many things. And people have a problem with that.
Sorry, isn't it some aspect of the Yoruba culture that is not really Yoruba?
See, but that's the thing.
That's
It's
I don't know. With the whole lady married, the whole Ogun.
But that's Yoruba religion
Yeah,
because you
right.
know why? It's a common source, right? Olodumare.
Right.
You have a common story, Oduduwa,
Mhm.
who took, who was actually creating the world when somebody fell asleep. Who was it that was drunk and fell asleep? Anyway,
Yeah.
I know too much about the
We
story.
could call Shiwara.
Yeah,
He's an
No,
Ifa he's an Ifa priest. So.
actually, Iyala
He
is in
said
it.
it.
Yeah, Iyanla is.
You know?
She changed her name. That was not her birth
Exactly.
name. Iyanla is not her birth name.
And also you have to understand why it's also a religion is very simple. There are non-Yoruba people that practice the religion.
Yes.
So if what those people are practicing, then what do you call it?
Yeah.
What do you call the people in Brazil practicing that?
Yeah. people
I know
right here in New
Americans-
Orleans.
But Abby, I don't think we could. That argument doesn't really work. If you're
Okay.
ignorant and you're doing stuff, doesn't mean it's right because
Ah.
other people are doing it.
But they're doing it and it's been acknowledged. They've been doing it for centuries.
Because like when you go to Cuba, they actually have the names like Shango.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Right here in New Orleans, they have.
Yes.
But that's Yoruba rules. So, and I question. So I asked somebody the question. Let's set a premise. What is a religion? A religion essentially is a group of agreed upon customs on a way to worship a deity. And Yoruba has a specific defined type of worship of its different divinities under
Yes.
Olodumare. So it's a religion.
True. Yeah.
And people who practice it says they say Yoruba. I mean,
It's Yoruba religion.
I know people who have.
It's yeah, it could go either way.
Yeah,
because Igbos don't have it. Hausas don't have it the same way. They don't.
No, they do.
No, they don't have a religion the same way. No, they don't.
Really? They don't have. What do you mean?
They don't have like the story or the folklore, at least from.
No, they have every culture show.
Okay, so maybe I'm mistaken.
Yeah, they
culture. Igbo.
Because I didn't find any records.
The story about curation is an effort by humanity, every community, every ethnicity to define themselves in the world.
Do they have a way of worshiping those?
Yeah, of course. They are traditional. They are gods, just like you have in.
But now let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
The Igbo gods.
Yeah.
What is the relationship with the Yoruba gods?
You know the interesting. I don't know that, but I know that the Igbo gods. Why Christianity was able to work very well with the Igbo people is that the Igbo God is structured the same way that Christianity is structured. So you have the Almighty God, and you have other intermediaries that you go through to get to the Almighty.
Just like Yoruba religion too.
So the same thing. So people, this is just an attempt. All this religious
Shango is the god of thunder.
To explain where you are in the world. Right. You know, that's what it is.
Interesting, man. Well, that's we're gonna have to talk about that. Maybe.
Yeah, a lot of people want to have. A lot of people want to hear about that. Actually.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is the right place to come to. We're gonna give it to them. We're gonna take a break and
don't let's lose sight of the guy that passed away though.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So because he was extremely talented, you know, it just doesn't make any kind of sense. He did recently go to Benin with his mom. So, you know, it's a sad day, and on the set where he was shooting, they're going to be out for the whole week, so they will not be doing any shows. And to try to figure out what's going to happen with his character.
My question is, what pushed him to start practicing that religion or that custom in the first place?
Actually, I sent you the link, and they said he actually took the trip to Nigeria with his mother.
Yeah.
They were very happy, came back happy. I sent you the link on your on your 50-pointer.
But there's a saying, according to the source, that says that in this religion, death is preferable to ignominy. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly.
You are. Yeah.
But some people say that suicide is not right in this religion. But you know, so
that one is definitely wrong because Yoruba people don't die.
Yeah.
We don't kill ourselves.
We don't kill ourselves.
The religion doesn't have anything to say about suicide, does it?
A close friend of his that so.
Yeah. Wow. Let's take a.
Before you go, the number again. Somebody just texted.
Yeah. Somebody actually.
Yeah. The number to call, guys, is 646-559-6640. Now, pay attention. 646-559-6640. We appreciate you guys calling, man. Please call, and we'd like to hear from you. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, Abby from the Critics Corner is gonna be giving his review and critique of the new Lee Daniels movie, The Butler, featuring Forrest Whitaker and Oprah Winfrey.
This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I want to see
because I'm coming for him.
Yeah, did Oprah?
You watched it too? You saw it?
Yo, did Oprah any Oprah Halle Berry scenes like type?
Nah.
Oh, man, all right.
She wasn't saying.
Right back.
Well, whatever it is that.
I said, open that book and go dictionary. Open and let me see.
Welcome to Fosville Luxury Hotel. At Fosville Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit Fosville Luxury Hotel. We are located at #1 Adeola Mishile off Raji Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofin Festac, Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 080-7578-7135 or 080-9990-0601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.fosvillehotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. Fosville Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.